What's up, guys? Welcome to another home theater hangout, Doomsday Countdown edition, with yours truly. Let me know if the audio is working good, then we'll continue. I'm just hanging out, waiting for Bill to show up. He is, I believe, grabbing his dinner right now, getting back to his truck. So we'll waste a little bit of time, see who's up in the chat. But we are going to be talking about Thor on 4K Blu-ray today. Now, unfortunately, I was going to also mix this in with the 3D review, but last year sometime, when I was switching from the Zidu player over to when I was switching over from the Zapiti player over to the Zidu player, I took out my 3D drive out of the Zapiti, and I dropped it on the ground from about waist high to the floor on carpet. That totally knocked out all of my 3D backups. So Thor was on that drive, unfortunately. And I don't have a Thor 3D disc anymore. I got rid of a lot of my 3D discs. If anybody has a 3D disc or a 3D backup they want to share with me, please feel free to email me your backup link. But no Thor 3D, unfortunately. If I remember correctly, it was a pretty good looking 3D movie, especially the first half that took place, all the stuff that took place in Asgard. I think it was only 5.1, but yeah, it's a casualty of war. All right, audio's fine. I didn't touch the audio levels since I did the last stream with Procella, so we're good. What's up, K-Man? How many 3Ds did I have in that drive? Man, I must have had... I didn't know. I still have a second drive. I had two drives, but I think I lost about 60... I think I lost about 60 3D backups. So it was a substantial amount. Although I do have most of the Marvel movies. So I do have most of them. Like I think from everything from here on out, I think this is the only one that I'm missing the 3D. I have the Hulks and the Avengers all 3D, Spider-Man's 3D. And what I did was, if you missed the video, I did a video on how to remux the 4K audio with the 3D video. So there is a video on the channel for that. So for the 3D reviews going forward, starting with Iron Man 3, or actually starting with Avengers, they're going to be all remuxed with the Atmos soundtrack from the 4K Blu-rays. So I don't know what the 5.1 channel mixes sound like. I've got only the Atmos mixes on them. I threw my 3D copy in the trash. Oh, look at this. We got Callan in the house. It's too bad, man. 3D looks good on that Valerian. What's up, Mr. Motown? Mr. Motown from Detroit. We're still hanging out. Still hanging out for Bill. Today's drink of choice is La Croix. Lemon flavor. Let's go to, what I saw recently. What did I see recently at the theater? I'm going to, we'll start talking about Thor in a minute here. But let me just go over my quick review. I did a quick review on the Bone Temple last week because I know somebody had asked me about that. So if you're interested in that, we did a couple of movie reviews on last week's, or actually no, the last stream that we did. But I got my tickets for Project Hail Mary. I know that came out yesterday for all those that were lucky enough to get that Amazon Prime. Fortunately, I missed out. They only had like the front row was available, so I wasn't able to see that. But I did pick it up for next week. Next Thursday, I'm going to check it out. And then early access to Michael Jackson. The Michael Jackson movie. Saw The Bride. The Bride kind of sucked. Although I think it's probably going to sound pretty good once it comes out on 4K. which is probably going to come out like another 2 weeks. I think it bombed at the theater. MLHHT. Yes, I actually viewed that video today again because most 3D I think have IMAX scenes. I don't know. I don't think Thor had IMAX scenes. I think the only ones that had IMAX scenes were, I believe, the Guardians. I think Guardians 1, 2, and 3. All three of those had IMAX scenes. I mean, I do know that they did have IMAX scenes. I don't think Iron Man 3 did. I felt like I skimmed through it the other day. I didn't see any IMAX stuff. And then the Spider-Man stuff, I don't think that has any IMAX stuff in the 3D version, just the Disney Plus version. But all right, let's get into this, and Bill will just pop on when Bill pops on. Dr. Strange, hold on, let me get everything working here. Let me line up all my shots. Oh, here we go. We're just gonna kick it off. What'd you get for dinner?
I got wings and pizza and beers and shots of Jameson's.
So
Shit.
you're not driving tomorrow.
No, I'm here till Monday morning because the place I was supposed to here. I'll just hold this. Fuck it. The place I was supposed to deliver to is only was place I was supposed to deliver to. It's closed on the weekend, so Monday morning. Are you
All
already
right,
on?
lucky. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, hang
Yeah.
on. I got notes. I got notes for my shit.
All right.
Um,
So I'll just do
Pardon
the
me,
AV
guys,
stuff.
for not getting my head and everything set up today, but I drove 680 miles, so kind of a slog.
Nice. So I'll go through the audio, video stuff, and then you get your stuff situated.
All right,
Well,
cool.
I go through all the photos and stuff.
I'm here.
All right,
Got
let's
my notes.
go. Let's go. Where's my first screenshot? Let me see. Where'd it go? Where's my first screenshot? Here it is. What's up, guys? Today we are going to be checking out Thor on 4K Blu-ray. What we are doing every week, I feel like I should just remind all the folks, is that we're going to be running through all of the Marvel movies up until the release of Doomsday, which is towards the end of the year. Right now, if you missed anything, we did Iron Man 1. We did The Incredible Hulk. We are now on Thor, which is the third movie. I feel like we
No,
missed something.
fourth movie.
Iron Man
Fourth, right?
2,
Right.
and
Fourth
then
movie.
Thor. All right, so we're
Yeah.
on the fourth movie of the MCU, Phase 1. So those videos are on the channel. So if you missed any of them, links are down in the video's description. And also, if you want to pick up any of these movies, links are down in the video's description. So I'm going to go over the AV quality. Usually I would say I'm not going to talk about the movie itself and how good or bad it is, but we are going to talk about how good or bad it is. Or at least Bill will. But but let's kick this off. Bill, we'll go over some tech specs after Bill's over with because I didn't write them down. I'll edit that in the edited version. Oh, by the way, there should be a link in the video's description if you want to watch this in its uncut entirety. That's on the second live stream channel that's dynamically challenged. What you guys will see is the edited version, the more professional version on Shane Lee. So, as far as like audio quality wise, if you guys do not know what the Dolby Atmos Object Viewer is, it is essentially going to show you what is going on in this mix audio wise, what the audio quality looks like, what speakers are active, if it's a 7-channel mix, if it's a true Atmos mix. That's what the Dolby Atmos Object Viewer is. Again, links down in this video's description. But let's jump on over to around 1 minute, 14 seconds. Essentially, this is the beginning of the movie. As we can see, this is the first Marvel movie which utilizes every single one of my channels in my setup. I am using an 18-channel RBH setup, and as we can see, all 6 top channels are active and all my lower channels are active. Well, the center surround kicks on here and there, so it's not active all the time, but it will kick on here from time to time.
I was really hoping that because there's some really good opportunities in this movie.
Oh, yeah. So what we're hearing here in this spot here is just there's actually just a lot of music on the top half. There is a storm going around the room here. You're gonna hear the wind blowing. I think it's a sandstorm, which is gonna just engulf the entire sound stage. Also, some really good bass here as well. But I will say for the majority of this stuff, it is mostly music. However, this stuff here, when we have the tornado that comes down, the lightning that comes down, you will hear that kind of swirl from above your head down to the bottom. So this will do all of the channels in full Atmos glory.
Nice.
Next up, coming in at 16 minutes, 11 seconds, this part here, this is really more of a bass heavy scene. This is where your subwoofers really just kick in. I've seen some reviews and read some reviews that this is at mouse, and it is to an extent. You will have to raise your volume about 6 dB or so. Once you do that, this part has a whole lot of bass, way more bass than I was expecting, more than the Incredible Hulk. I thought the Incredible Hulk was supposed to be pretty crazy, but I think this has the most bass out of all the movies
Is
I've seen
this
so far.
is this Hemdall firing up the Rainbow Bridge?
Yeah, he's firing up the Rainbow Bridge. They're going to the Jotunheim to go see the what's his name,
The Ice Giants.
the Ice Giants. Yeah. So this is cool. This is once he starts firing that up, you're gonna hear the electric shoot up in the top channels. You can see those two balls just shot up to the air. So that's what's happening here. You hear that above your head and the crackling and stuff in the lower
Whoa.
channels. And then once they shoot off, once they travel over to Jotunheim, that's when you'll get all the effects, the
I have
whooshing
to
in the
say that,
world.
not to interrupt, but this is like the most active I've seen any channels, like the upper channels of any movie so far.
Yeah, this is the most busy one. And as you can see, the balls start moving here. This is when they're traveling through space here or on the bridge. So this is a legit, really busy, active Atmos mix. Not a whole lot of balls moving around, but as far as channel activity, it's still pretty good. That's at 16 minutes, 11 seconds. And again, they're traveling over to Jotunheim. Once they get to Jotunheim, you're going to get some really good ambiance here. You're going to hear some ice crackling, ice breaking, stuff like that. Here we go. You can see how the ice is falling down from the top channels to the bottom. This is actually actually no. This is the battle. This is after they get to Jotunheim. They're fighting the giant monster. Still really good ambiance otherwise, but again, another really deep bass moment. Thor flies up in the air. He's about to shoot Mjolnir through this creature. Boom, goes through his mouth, and you can hear Mjolnir fly through the air. And of course, the crash landing, huge bass drop. He drops down from the air down to the lower channels. Another truly, look at that. Really good, really busy Atmos mix. And not as Atmoused as a lot of the reviews that I had read or that I've had heard. So possibly, aside from the volume, a really good Atmos mix. That comes in at 25 minutes. Let's go to 53 minutes, 54 seconds. Here we've got Thor. He's about to break into the Coulson's stronghold where they have Mjolnir that has crash landed on Earth. He's going to try to recover it. This one's just basically just ambiance. You're just going to hear rain coming from the top channels, thunder crackling overhead. And that's basically it in this scene. But I just wanted to highlight the fact that not all the action scenes are heavy with the Atmos effects. Even the quieter stuff, you will notice Atmos effects. So that comes in at 53 minutes, 54 seconds. And that stays pretty busy all the way through.
Yep.
Now here's the scene where they crash land. This is actually 16 minutes, 11 seconds. This is where they're flying through the air again. They're about to land on Jotunheim, flying through the air, through the top channels. And then once they get to Jotunheim, this is where we get a lot of nice atmospheric. So just like the lightning cracking at 53 minutes, 46 seconds, here you're going to hear the snow and all that stuff blowing through the lower channels. Nice extension up top, and then just the ice crackles and stuff like that in the background, which is a really nice effect for this movie. So not only do we have some kick-ass action scenes in this, but the quieter stuff is really busy as well. Probably one of the best Atmos mixes. Well, the most busiest Atmos mixes that we have that I've heard in quite some time. Now, as far as bass response, the first 2/3 of the movie absolutely rock. I mentioned the stuff at the Rainbow Bridge where they're first walking up to the Rainbow Bridge sounded fantastic. The storm where Thor lands on Earth sounded great. That battle in Jotunheim kicked ass. I actually had to turn down a little bit because the neighbors are having a kid's birthday party, so I didn't want to disrupt them and all their friends because I know they would have been like, "Do you guys see?"
Just so you know, Shane is a community-minded, member of whatever community he lives in. So he takes that in consideration.
I try to be a good neighbor. Love thy neighbor,
Neighbors,
as you say.
I couldn't remember the word neighbor. He's a community-minded neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I forget words every day. What's my name?
Neighbor. So I had to turn down actually for that part. Actually, I'm going to say during the big action stuff, I had to turn down a little bit because I did want to be mindful. But for that scene in Jotunheim where they're fighting the frost giants, which is an awesome scene, by the way. Mjolnir Thor throwing Mjolnir through the air, just knocking out like pins. Sounded great. And then the giant footsteps of the giant beast, whatever it is, awesome. Kick-ass bass, probably the best bass out of all the Marvel movies yet, I think. Well, maybe up there with Iron Man 1. It's just more of it here.
My favorite time him throwing the hammer, I know this is a little bit down the line, but Doctor Strange, when he throws the hammer and then he puts his hand out and you have to wait like 30 seconds and you hear it ripping through the house.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry. If you haven't seen those movies before, you're watching the wrong channel.
So for the first 2/3 of this movie, kick-ass bass. I would almost say like demo-worthy bass for some specific parts. Again, you're going to have to raise your volume up about 6 dB or so.
Yeah.
Other than that, it sounds great. However, once they get to the part where they're fighting the Iron Giant, the one that blows out the fire, for whatever reason, there's hardly any bass in that scene. I don't know what happened. It's like they just
wait. How is there hardly any bass in that scene? And I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I watched it, that was one of the highlights of my. It reminds me of, if you ever seen the Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah.
That's Klaatu, man. Like he is totally just like on defense and he's a golem. He's a steel Asgardian golem.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was watching, the kids were outside playing in the backyard, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" I said, "Let me reach for the remote," because I knew the part was coming up. Right. And I was like, "Hold on!" I said, "I don't even have to do anything because there's hardly anything going on." I mean, there's a little bit of bass going on, but not as much as happened in the first half. Yeah, because he's walking down the street, blowing up cars and everything.
You'd think like boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then we get to the final battle on the Rainbow Bridge. Or is that what it's called? Rainbow Bridge? No, the Bifrost.
Bifrost.
And again, the bass was kind of weak in there. It was a little bit stronger than that fight with the giant, but it wasn't as good as the stuff with in Jotunheim with the giant beast. It wasn't as deep as that.
The fight itself I thought was good, but it's kind of like they got kind of lazy toward the last end of the the latter half of the movie.
Yeah. So that's an unfortunate thing because that's like the biggest thing was that battle at the end. So, although the Jotunheim battle is probably the best battle in the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they did it.
When he runs his hammer through the back of that thing's head, that's Thor.
Yep. So bass response was good, was awesome in parts, and then other parts was really kind of disappointing. Now, as far as video, hold on. And then the audio was actually really good. I took note that when they were talking to the Frost Giants actually had a really deep voice out of the center channel. One thing I really took note of, I was like, whoa, my center channel is actually doing some work here. So really good mid-bass presence, like lower mids out of the center channel. So if you've got a capable center channel, maybe don't cross it over at 100 hertz if it's capable enough because it sounded pretty good on my RBHs, which, by the way, I have 18 of them. If you want to pick up some RBH speakers, links in this video's description.
I have 18 of them, none of which are for sale because they're all part of my speaker system.
Now, as far as video quality is concerned for Thor, this kind of suffers from what plagued the other three movies. I wouldn't say notably Iron Man 1. As you can see here, we've got a close-up shot of Odin. And a lot of DNR in this movie. A lot of DNR. There's some sporadically really good crispy 4K crispy moments in this, but I want to say for the majority of it, it looks like a wax fest. So here we've got Anthony Hopkins. His beard, you can't even see. His beard kind of looks like a blurry mess. Here we've got a shot of Thor. I don't know what's going on with him. He looks like he's sunburnt and everything's just really soft and waxy.
Yeah.
Devoid of any detail in his face. Here we've got Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman's still looking good nowadays, but
I don't know. A mannequin.
She does look like a mannequin. Horrible. Just no definition in her face at all. It looks like she had a really bad case of Botox, but it's just
and the back, like there's nothing in the background at all.
Yep.
It's just like
this shot's here is pretty egregious too. Everybody in this shot just looks like a wax fest. And the funny thing here is if you were to if you watch this on replay, I'll have the 4K screenshots up. There's actually, just like in Iron Man 1, around our characters here, there's almost like a halo, like a grainy halo around them. So it's like the compression, you're getting some artifacting around the certain objects, notably around people, which really looks just bad. So you get like this strange halo, and then also you get the waxy features on everybody.
Kat Denning looks very Asian at that shot.
Yeah, I'll take it. Look at this. I don't know what's going on. Why did they? Well, I know probably why they stopped dyeing Hemsworth's eyebrows, because he looks pretty strange here with blonde eyebrows.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Strange. He looked just strange. Period.
Well, until he takes his shirt off, then women are like, oh.
Then they don't see his head anymore. It's just his pecs.
Right.
His pecs and his abs.
But here, he looks like his face is all washed over. He looks like Arnold in Terminator 2. Here's one of Loki, which looks really bad. His costume is devoid of anything. Another in-car shot looks horrible. Really nice, waxy. This part here, you can actually see the halos around these characters pretty distinctly. And then all the stuff off-planet on Asgard or Jotunheim. I think they just all the CG just looks really soft in this. I'm sure they probably added a lot of the DNR to kind of just mask some of the CG effects, but most of the CG in this just really blurry and just really soft.
I think one thing we forget about is the fact that, every shot they make, there's a dollar amount associated with that, right? Mm-hmm. So like sometimes like the close-up shots of the ice giants on Jotunheim and all that, like they spend their money to make those look tight, and then the rest like, we'll save money by making this one look this way, this one. I heard a quote from Mila Jovovich, who said that the majority of her movies' budgets were spent on making her look like she had breasts.
Huh.
So, you got to put your money where it's not like, you and I think of every shot being the same monetarily, technically, but it's not. I just want to put that out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll go over the tech specs really quick though. But I believe this was a 2K DI, so all these effects were probably done in 2K. Then they upscaled it to 4K, so hence why it probably looks pretty bad. Here's a last shot. All of these shots here that take place on Asgard in their conference room here all look just terrible. I mean, that looks horrible.
Yeah, that's just bad.
Yeah, it just looks like a blurry, waxy mess. But then we get some shots like this. Like this movie was shot like, I think
look at that.
That looks awesome. That's like, I believe this was shot on 35 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, this was shot digitally, wasn't it? But that looks super detailed. I mean, you can
Like,
see all the pores and stuff in his face. His eyebrows look crystal clear.
right. Look
Strands
how
of
different
hair.
his eyes look from those other scenes where he looks like they painted his eyes on his face.
Mm-hmm. Great shot of Natalie Portman. Look how good that looks. That's like perfect looking.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you can see the peach fuzz around her ears.
Now she
All
really
the
looks like a real person.
yeah, she looks legit. Stitching on the coat. You can see all the pieces in the zipper there. Fantastic looking close-up shot again of Thor. This is towards the end of the movie, I believe. Just
Hmm.
this would be a 10 out of 10 if the entire movie looked like that. And then here we've got a nice shot of Anthony Hopkins.
Look at that detail on his left eye.
Yep. Yep. The two wrinkles on his forehead there. Just
Yeah.
everything that looks. So these are some
Yep.
crispy 4K shots. So it's not like they couldn't do it. I don't know if the shots were originally just horrible looking, but there are some really good shots. I mean, not a lot, maybe just a handful. So most of it's kind of crappy looking for the duration of the movie. But
I'd like to
oh,
see if there was like a dollar value associated with like, what the level of detail, and by detail I mean like the two crispy shots on his forehead, the wrinkles around, like if there's a dollar value associated with the level of detail.
I would like to know. Well, these are the early Marvel movies, so maybe it wasn't so much because this movie kind of felt small, aside from the CG stuff on
And it
Off
didn't. I
Planet.
mean, to be honest, it didn't do great at the box office.
Yeah, I just felt because everything took place in the small town, it was just like on that street, most of the
Right,
action
right,
took place. So to me, I was just like, they should have just kept it on Asgard.
right.
But of course, that had to come to Earth. So that looked great. Some of the CG, we got primetime the Golem here. That looks just as good as Iron Man from Iron Man 1.
Klaatu, man, looks badass.
Is that his name?
Well,
Oh,
in as the day the Earth stood still, Klaatu is the robot that lands on in Central Park
oh yeah,
or
okay.
in Washington D.C.
Yep.
I forget where it lands, but like it looks kind of like that, except the shape of the head is different.
Yeah. But that looked great. And then, of course, majority of the CG stuff, like I mentioned earlier, pretty soft. This is towards the beginning of the movie. That just looks pretty bad. Flyover shot over Asgard, where Thor is going to meet his pops. That looks pretty bad as well. So a lot of the CG is just really soft, and it looks its age. Not top tier. Not top tier Marvel. I believe
No,
that really picks up towards the end when they hit up what's his name? Finger snap guy.
no.
Thanos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Well,
color palette wise, this is an HDR. I mean, the stuff that takes place on World, I think it's in New Mexico. It's pretty warm color palette. Orangey, sepia tones, gives the impression that it's hot outside. Then we have
yeah.
some shots like this. Is a little bit more natural, but still a touch of the warmth there. So that looked really great. The stuff off world, like in the Frost Planet, a little bit colder, as you would imagine, since it's icy out there. But for most of it, natural, if not a bit warm. Here's another really great shot that's really nice, but also really detailed. So this is like a far field shot, ultra detailed.
Hmm.
This is also really great looking detail wise too.
Wow.
Nice natural color palette, just nice CG effect in the background there, just really crispy shot. Specular highlights look great in this. Here's a shot of the Bifrost on the bridge. Electricity flies up in the air. This does really pop off the screen. Explosions get incredibly bright. Here's the stuff on the Bifrost bridge. This actually has, the rainbow colors in the bridge. This is not the
This is
shot, but there's a lot of
this
rainbow
is
colors in
Dez,
this.
and this is Troy.
But
Sorry.
that looks great. Another specular highlight here over Asgard. So really nice specular highlights, and then the black levels. I think there's a little bit of black crush here and there. The really dark scenes, especially with the DNR, it kind of blurs out some of the detail. But for the majority of stuff, I thought it was pretty decent. And then here we got another darker shot. Some stuff there in the lower chest plate there kind of gets lost a little bit, but it's not too egregious.
Look how young Tom Hiddleston looks. Holy shit! It's
Mm.
like I'm a senior in high school.
I wish they would have. I wish they would have killed him off. I hate these anti-hero narratives they throw in these MCU movies.
Yeah, but now he's actually a hero,
Yeah, lame. It's so lame.
right?
Another dark shot. So overall, I thought. Overall, I thought it was a. You know, the presentation was okay. Video quality not the best. Is it the worst? I'm gonna say it's right there with Iron Man. So bunch of
No.
DNR, some really crispy shots here and there. So video quality wise, I'm gonna go with a 7 for video. So I think this might be the lowest on my list. I'm gonna have to go with
Yeah,
that.
it is so far. That is
Yeah,
the lowest we've gone so far is a 7.5.
yeah, I think Iron Man won. So there's just more noise reduction and blurriness in this one. Audio wise, even though this was the busiest, it was the busiest, most active mix. I don't think there was a ton of really discrete, distinct effects that were in the soundstage, whether it's the surrounds or the tops. A lot of the top stuff is just music and just some lower extension, which does fill in the space above your head. Because remember, I believe this movie was only in Dolby Digital when it came out. So,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Did you have all your bases turned on for this one?
Yeah, everything's turned on. Double checked. Double checked. So all amps are firing.
Just not
Level.
trying to, just asking.
I've only made that mistake a couple of times. But yeah, bass kicked in this one. So yeah, awesome bass, just discrete effects and everything like that. Maybe not as good as Iron Man 1, but just the engagement overall will fill all of your speakers. Now for that alone, I still think I would give Iron Man 1 the edge, despite maybe not being as busy as this one. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with a 8.2 for audio on this one. Now, as far as tech specs, it would seem that this movie was shot in 4.5K and I believe in 35 millimeter. If you know, then give me correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's got a
No, he's
2K
wrong. Get it,
DI.
correct him.
It's got a 2K DI. It's rated PG-13. Runtime is 115 minutes. Aspect ratio is 239 to 1. And the audio is in Dolby Atmos. All right. Bill, how did you give us a rundown on the movie? What is Thor about?
All right. So Thor is not actually like an origin story, as much it is. It's kind of like, it talks about him and Loki, where they came from, specifically more where Loki came from. The fact that Loki was the son of a Jotunheim prince, and it kind of explains why his father had the agreement with Jotunheim. And when Thor wanted to go crazy and go to war, he was kind of like, no, that we don't need to do that, blah blah blah. Um, this is notable because it's Hemsworth's first appearance, it's Tom Hiddleston's, it's Anthony Hopkins, Stellan Skarsgård, which he only appears in like one or two more movies, and I have to say Natalie Portman, who I never actually, she doesn't strike me as a Marvel movie person. I mean, she's more of a Black Swan, serious kind of, you
Yeah.
know. I think she was a nice addition, but it didn't. It never felt like she fit in, in the the whole thing. Idris Elba, he is freaking awesome as Himdall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I just, he says a few words, but he has very, like, there's heavy gravity. I mean, he just pulls it off beautifully. Um, the movie is, the first part of the movie is more about Thor's and Loki's relationship with Odin than it is about, the whole, any kind of backstory. Um, One of my favorite shots in the whole movie is, it's after Thor. I forget what Thor does, but the camera pans to like what you think is like the picture of the stars, but it's actually Himdall's eye, and the camera pans around. Right there, that one shot. Um, I think this, of all the besides Iron Man, this has the best storyline. Iron Man gets the edge because it's an origin story, but everything else, um, you don't need an origin story for Thor. He's the son of a god. His father is Odin. I mean, he's not like some guy who drank a serum and became whatever. You know his story to begin with. So, but how he got to Earth and how that whole thing comes together, that really works. Why is Loki who Loki is? That comes together. I will say this: Ray Stevens, man, as one of
Yeah.
Thor's like fighting buddies. You guys may know him as the Punisher. For my money, the best Punisher. He most closely fits the physical description from the comics, and I like his movie better than all the other like Punisher stuff. Unfortunately, he didn't kind of get to go any farther. He reminds me of Gimli from the friggin' the Lord of the Rings. But as far as besides Iron Man, this movie will stand on its own. If you didn't even have a Marvel universe and you just made the Thor story, the Thor movie, it would stand on its own and would do very well.
So I take it you really like this movie.
Bro, Thor's my guy, man. As far as the MCU goes, Thor and the Hulk, which is why not so much, I mean, the Avengers movie, yeah, I won't talk about that. I'll wait till we get to that movie, but yeah. Thor and the Hulk are my boys.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I liked the movie, but I didn't love the movie. I just felt the scale of it felt just small to me. It was like
Yeah, I will agree with that.
it was like between because I kind of hated Iron Man 2, but then watching it again last
Ugh.
week, I was like, I got a bit of more appreciation for Iron Man 2 now.
No,
Yeah, I just
don't
like
even go.
it's like, okay.
Don't even try it. I'll come back to Connecticut and beat that ass if you try to
I was
tell me.
I was trying to debate
Don't
which one I
say
like
it.
better. Do I like this one better? Or do I like Iron Man 2 better? Oof, it's a little tough. I kind of put him on the bottom for me, bottom of the barrel.
Don't make me. Don't make me come home.
I knew this list, our top 10, our top Marvel list was going to deviate at some point. It seems it's going to happen here.
Don't even tell me you think Iron Man 2 is better than Thor. Come on. Look at Mickey Rourke's fingertips, for God's sakes.
Let me see. What do we got right here? We got Iron Man is number 1, Incredible Hulk number 2, Iron Man 2 is number 3, and then Thor as number. Where do you want to put?
Just,
Where do you want to put Thor
Thor
in
is
your
number
list?
4 in the lineup.
Yeah.
I want to put Thor as number 2.
You want to move Thor number 2?
I do.
There we go.
I think
Okay.
I think Thor is better than Hulk. I think the CGI is better. I think that Chris Hemsworth and Thor. You gotta give like actual actors a little more credit than a CGI character. And Thor is a stronger character than I mean, everybody loves Hulk. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Hulk? But Hemsworth is an actual person. I mean, you got to give it the edge. Plus, the story. Hulk, for that movie, you don't even get a backstory. You just get like, oh, so here's the Hulk, and he's in this at this point. And that's because Disney didn't pick him up for the first movie. That was a Sony movie. Or I think it was a Sony movie. Whoever did it, it was. So you get him down the road trying to prevent his Hulkness from spreading versus Thor, which you don't really need a backstory for because you know where he comes from, and you get the story of him and Loki and Odin and that whole triangle of relationship, and it's just better. It's a better storyline.
I don't know. I just didn't like Loki being a. I just didn't like Loki in this movie. I didn't like Loki. I didn't like the scale of it.
Come on,
I
what
don't
is
know.
Loki? Loki's a trickster, man. Tom Hiddleston, like he does a great job as like
I think
shifting identities and all that.
I feel me knowing his arc in this whole series
You can't use that. You can't
has ruined
use
it
your
for me.
foreknowledge. You're not a god. You're not omniscient. You got to pretend like this is the first time you've seen it.
All right, hold on. So, all right, let's do this. For you, Iron Man 1, you're going to put that as 1.
Yep.
Hulk.
Thor.
Oh, you want to go
Thor
with
is
Thor.
2,
You want to go Thor 2. Okay.
and
Thor
Hulk is
2.
3, and Iron Man 2 is 4.
I am.
And I will give you a preview. Iron Man 2 is going to continue to move down the list.
All right, so I'm going to stick with Iron Man 1. Iron Man as number 1.
Yep. All right.
Hulk 2.
Okay.
Fuck.
Oh, sorry.
Iron Man 2. I kind of hate them equally as much, Iron Man 2 and Thor. You know what? I may put Thor as my
At least it had better sound activity.
I might put Thor as my number 3 just because I do like Natalie Portman in the movie, and then Iron Man 2 bumps down to 4.
You sexist bastard.
Yeah. All right. So our list has officially changed. All right. Towards the end of the series.
I'm going to bring this back up to you in at least 2 different movies. The first one being Avengers, and then the next one being later on another Thor movie. Just so you know.
Gosh. Well, we know what's going to be last. At least I already know what's going to be last in my list.
What's the last? Oh, what, Iron Man 2? Or...
No. Probably one of the worst movies ever made in the MCU.
All right. Well, wait, no. Black Adam is DC.
I don't know. I think it's going to be...
We'll have to talk about this offline because...
No, it's probably going to be tied with...
I've got a handful I could choose from.
I think there's only 2 horrible movies. It would be not Ragnarok, Love and Thunder, and probably The Eternals. My 2 least favorite.
The Turtles?
I fucking hated The Eternals.
Oh, the Eternals.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Ninja Mutant Turtles. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah, the Eternals was boring.
Yeah. They tried to go all artsy with it. It just failed.
Well, they tried to go Greek. And, I mean, come on. It's not... If you want to go Greek, you got to go 300.
Yeah.
At least Frank Miller made it like cool, like exciting, and the cinematography was like crazy, and that whole thing like where they filmed. It was the Prophet, the Oracle underwater, like the chick.
Yeah.
They filmed her underwater to give her that whole thing. Like, dude, that movie was groundbreaking, and it was insane. Like, not just, yeah, this is Sparta. That's the line that everyone remembers from this movie. You know what the line I remember from this movie is? Fucking Lena Headey saying, "Come back with your shield or on it." Like, even the fucking, like, the wives were like hardcore, man. Like, if you can't get the job done, you better be fucking dead when I come back, when the next time I see you.
Wait, you didn't get that sensation from the Eternals?
No, I got a sensation of what's her name, fucking Brad Pitt's wife saying, "We need to rescue everyone in the world. Everyone who doesn't have our money and our this and our that." Oh, you mean everyone who doesn't French kiss their brother the day they win the Academy Award in front of fucking everyone? You twisted cunt. Pardon my French. Sorry. She was just whack job. She's out of her mind. Yes, please edit that last "see you next Tuesday" out of there. Sorry.
You've been drinking already? It's a good thing we don't have any females that watch the channel.
Yeah, no, sorry. I hate to say that because, yeah, I'm not sexist. My wife says it a lot because we're both big, like, I don't know. We watch a lot of Irish and Scottish stuff, and it's kind of a regular term on their programming. But yeah, my bad.
You got to defend it.
But she is out of her mind, like, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shit movie.
It was a shit movie. Sorry. So yeah. So Eternals, yeah, I can see that.
I don't think it's as bad as Love and Thunder. That was just
no. Come on now.
Love and Thunder was just.
I like Taika. He's the man.
Oh my god, you might be the only person I know likes Love and Thunder.
Have you seen Free Guy?
Yeah,
If you want to see the best movie that he's made, I
Free
think it's on
Guy.
Netflix. It's called the Wilderness People.
I remember. Yeah, it was a good movie. There's no Love and Thunder. You got Thor doing splits. Really?
Well, I mean, come
Come on,
on.
man.
Another day, another Doug. You know what I'm saying? That's Taika
That's
that's playing the rock guy, right?
yeah. That's not in Love and Thunder though.
No, that's in friggin'
That's like Infinity War. I
that's in
think.
Ragnarok.
Was that Ragnarok? I thought it was Infinity.
When the Hulk grabs him and bang, 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 and Loki jumps up and says, "That's what that feels like." And then it pans to, then you look at Jeff Goldblum. He's like, "The hell are you talking about?" And then it goes to friggin' to Waika, and he's like, "Another day, another Doug," because they all think he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Ragnarok, but he took it. I feel like Ragnarok was borderline too cheesy, or it's almost pushing it to make Thor a little bit too jokey. But I was like, he kind of balanced it enough where I was like, all right, he was kind of serious, but mixed the comedy well. But then he just went all 85% comedy in Love and Thunder. I was just like, this is not fucking
He's
good,
Australian,
man.
man. What do you want? Like those guys are funny dudes.
I
Plus,
mean, even
have
Hemsworth
you read?
acknowledges.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you were a kid, what comics did you read? Like, what comics were like? Okay, so we know that Spider-Man had a naturally ingrate sort of irreverence because he was a teenager, and yes, he had respect for his uncle and his aunt and Jonas, but he was still a teenager, so he was kind of a wise ass, but he was respectful. Iron Man was always irreverent and just kind of like, I'm worth millions and screw you. The Hulk, well, he was a caveman, so he wasn't irreverent. He was just, not really vocal. And then Thor was,
Thor was not a comedian.
no, he was just like everything he said was like Middle Ages, it was all like
They had a
Midgardian.
He tried to have a romantic moment with Stormbreaker on the ship. I was like, what's going on in this fucking movie, man? Are you kidding me? Dude, it's fucking bad. It's so
Well,
bad.
yeah, I have to watch it again, but there's the thing about that I liked about Love and Thunder was the fact that they brought Natalie Portman back and they gave her a second chance, and I thought that was really cool because I never saw that in any of the comics, and the fact that she got to wear the helmet and she got to be Thor, and she helped him out. Plus, bro,
Yeah, but
Christian Bale.
it was
Christian Bale gets to go in DC and Marvel. Come on.
yeah, but they like totally used him incorrectly. He was supposed to be this big villain, but he hardly did anything in the movie.
Okay, you know
It
who
was like
Christian Bale was?
it was
In
like
that, you
totally
don't
was
watch
too.
anime, right? You don't like. You're not an anime guy.
No, but
But
like
if
totally.
you ever watched, uh, I got reincarnated as a slime. There's one of the story arcs is, so there's this big forest and there's all these different beast creatures, and the orcs, which are basically based on pigs and boars, they're starving. They're the lowest regarded, and they're starving, and they get made into like these super villain super guys, and they're attacking everyone. But typically they're regarded as pigs who are like, you know can't really fight off much more superior enemies. But you know they get to this point where they are an enemy to be reckoned with, and they humanize them really well in this, kind of the same way they do, like, in Ragnarok, or not Ragnarok, but in Love and Thunder. you know uh Christian Bale's people are all dying because they worship these gods, and the gods don't care a shit about them. They basically, like, he laughs at him when he's like, I held my daughter when she died. And he's like, what does that matter to me? Well, in the anime, this guy comes and like on the behalf of the so-called gods, says, I'm going to give you a blessing and a name, and I'm going to raise your people up as long as you do what I tell you to. And they were only using them as a tool to, thwart this other faction. Anyway, at the end, it turns out that it kind of equates the same thing. The individual at the end, you feel sorry for Christian Bale because he was just fighting back against an unjust system, and at the same time, in the anime, you feel bad for the guy that they raise up to almost a godlike status, and they kill him, but then they bring him back because it wasn't his fault. He was used by the gods. So it's one of those. If you know all this different, all these different things, you can see that, and it's like, wow, it's kind of unfair. So I hate Christian Bale as Batman, at least at the first part, but I think he did a really good job in this movie based on what they wanted him to do and who his character was.
But he has such a small part in it, though. I felt like it could have been something really great, but then they mixed it with all the stupid comedy shit. I was like, this doesn't even work as a movie. It's like it kind of loses you. You're like, I was like so lost. It was like I was so desensitized from all the comedy. I was like, yo, what are we fucking doing? I'm like scrolling on my phone. I'm just waiting for the good shit to happen. I was like, oh, here we go. We got Christian Bale finally. And he's like, he comes and kind of goes, and then he's done.
You don't watch a lot of Australian stuff, apparently.
Oh, God.
Dude, they're not like, they don't, and I'm not kind of making a nationalistic sort of statement about the Australians, but I watch a lot of mystery. I watch a lot of this stuff from England and from the UK and from Australia. You can't use our sort of standard judging things the way, like everything in America and is so formulaic, and the way they do it. And Australians tend to, I think they combine a lot more comedy into their things because honestly, day to day, there's a lot more funny shit than there is serious, oh my God, it's murder. They come from a background. You have to find the humorous and the kind of things that let you survive the day to day, because if you look at their base existence, it was fucking horrifying, man. If you guys want to read about, like, not just for you, in the whole everybody watching this,
I like how you're trying to justify Thor: Love and Thunder.
Watch. There's a book called Fatal Shores, man. Read that book. It talks about the founding of Australia and all the shit that was done to the Aborigines, and not just the Aborigines, because they were already living there, but the people they forced to live there and what they made them do. It's freaking horrifying, man. Sorry. Yes, I've had a few beers.
You trying to justify Love and Thunder is pretty funny.
No, I'm just saying there's more balance there than you know, because you have to know the whole story.
Oh, I know the story of Thor: Love and Thunder, and it's
but I'm talking about like the director. I always pronounce his name wrong. T.T. Waikiki. I want to call him Waikiki because I'm from I live in Hawaii, but
even Hemsworth says Hemsworth says we went a little too much in the comedy. We're gonna dial it back in the next movie.
They did. They went a little heavy in the comedy.
Yeah. I just knew it was going to be bad when he started doing the splits in the start of the movie. I was like, oh no. I said, this is going down the wrong path right from the beginning. Sure enough, it did.
Well, if you look at Ragnarok, which started with him in a cage.
Yeah.
And the comedy there, I think they probably just kind of like, well, that worked. Let's go this way.
Yeah. Even that was a little. I was like, this is kind of cheesy. Plus
but they mixed that with some good music, so you can forgive that.
Yeah, that's borderline. I don't know. I know people love that movie. I believe it made like $1 billion. Ragnarok, and then Love and Thunder. I don't think it bombed, but I think it only made like $700 million or something.
Only.
So not one of the strongest Marvel offerings.
And how much did it cost to make? So it made like 3 times the amount that it actually cost. I think it qualifies to be a hit.
Well, no.
And when you take a Led Zeppelin song from 72 or earlier. I forget when Led Zeppelin 3 came out. 71. When you take Immigrant Song and you make it like crazy powerful with Thor fighting a giant skeleton or whatever the hell that thing was that he like killed.
Yeah, so it made about 103 million net profit by early 2023.
How much?
103 million net profit. So it was a hit worldwide. 760 million. It was.
What did it cost to make?
I don't know if they said how much it cost here. It's probably around 2 something. I'm sure.
Because at this point, the actors are not like they signed these contracts with the MCU and it's Disney, which is like the government of filmmaking, and they're not paying these guys, 10, 20, 30 million dollars a picture.
Surprisingly, got a 76 audience score.
Well, that's not bad.
What did we just watch? Thor? Let me see what the first Thor got. The first Thor. No, that's Love and Thunder. First Thor, 77. Oh, it's actually the same. 76 audience score, 77 critic score, and then Love and Thunder got 60. Love and Thunder 63 critic score and 77 critic
That's
score.
Not bad. I like
Thor.
Love and Thunder.
They're almost the same. It's so
my favorite part of Love and Thunder is the fucking end when they're putting the like you think he's getting ready to go to school, and then they're going out to fight. That was awesome.
Actually, all 4 movies, well, 1, 2, and 4 are almost identical in the critic and audience score. But then Ragnarok was 93 critic and 87
there you go
audience score. So that was the highest.
Kate Beckinsale, baby.
Kate Beckinsale was in Ragnarok?
Or Kate Winslet. No, Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale was in Ragnarok?
No. Beckinsale, Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet was not in Ragnarok.
Who's the frickin'
Kate Blanchett.
The gorgeous older Kate.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting Beckinsale and Blanchett mixed up.
I was like, Beckinsale? She ain't in it.
Right?
Here's a question. Hi, guys. I just subscribed to the channel. Well, thank you. Thank you, Anthony Manzano. Bill and Sean. Even though it says Shane on the screen.
Bill and Sean.
Even though
my name is Sean.
My name is spelled on the screen. What was the question again? Bill and Sean, do you think the next logical step 44, is to go full God King or ruin King Thor in his next movie? I'm going to guess and say he's probably going to get killed off in Doomsday. I doubt he's going to get another movie. What do you think? Thor 5?
I don't think you can kill Thor. I mean, if you kill Thor, you better fucking take out Odin too, because that whole realm is going to come for you.
I mean,
I think maybe he gets otherwise occupied. I don't follow the Marvel comics far enough to find out if he actually phases out at some point. But
I think this is the whole reset. Doomsday and Secret Wars. I think that's the whole. We're going to start over and start with X-Men.
I bring you up to my point. I wasn't aware that X-Men and Avengers did not intersect or were part of the same universe. I figured, Marvel was a publishing company who wrote about this group of people and this group of people. You don't have to be like, well, these guys got to talk to these people. Really? I'm a publishing company. Fuck you.
Well, Fox owned X-Men. And then, so Fox couldn't cross over till Disney bought them.
Okay. Fox couldn't come. Okay. Where do you ever see in the comics X-Men and Avengers combining to fight anybody or fighting themselves?
Well, like Secret
Why
War.
does it have to be a thing?
Well, because these movies are based on the comics.
Okay.
Where they do this.
Like I said, I never saw where. Okay, let me just say this. I don't really know what Doomsday is based on. I know that we had the first MCU, then the second MCU, then we had Endgame, and then we had all the peaceful. Okay, here's the next version where all the guys died in Endgame, and now it's like this one is, the Marvels are females, and this one is this, and this one is that, and they're all this and that and the other thing. And okay, but to me, it got very non-directional, and there didn't seem to be any kind of focus. I stopped watching. I haven't seen the last probably 3 Marvel movies in the theater because to me it was just like it didn't seem like they were, working together. They were just movies about the Marvels and this and that. And, I don't know whether Kevin Feige just kind of forgot about the fact that, we're used to these things kind of working together toward the same direction. And then Shane comes on and says, hey, guess what? Doomsday is coming out. So we're going to do these movie reviews, and it's about this. And I'm like, well, that's great, but I don't even know about the last 20% of the movies. I haven't even seen them yet. So I don't really even know, what is Doomsday? Is Doomsday a combination of the X-Men and the Avengers? Or they have a war and that's who's left? I mean, what's that all about?
Well, supposedly Doomsday is going to knock everybody out.
Oh. And
So
how do you
reset.
kill off everyone without destroying the planet in the process? That's stupid.
I guess we're gonna find out. I mean, nobody watches. Nobody ever since Spider-Man. What? No Way Home.
No Way Home.
With Tobey Maguire and all that. All the movies sucked after that. All of them sucked.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't passed that one. I haven't seen any of the new ones.
So what are they doing? So they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. to play Doomsday. Nobody knows in what capacity, but this is their Hail Mary. They're going to bring back.
Is this like
everybody's coming back?
Is this the Marvel's version of Flashpoint?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
With the Flash,
yeah.
Something happens, and now the guys you thought were good are like, "Come on, man!"
Yeah.
Look, at some point, you had to realize this has traveled its limit, and either you come up with whole new storylines based on the children or the end, the progeny of these things,
or
you just let it go because you can't keep recycling the same characters, man. It's lame.
Well, this is the whole reset. I think we're getting the brand new comic book accurate X-Men. Well, maybe not comic accurate, but X-Men.
I'm sorry, but when you say reset, all that says to me is reboot.
Well,
same story.
Well, it's like a
different era actors, so that the studios can put actors that are relevant to this generation in the same old fucking roles and make them do the same old shit.
Well, I think the emphasis is going to be on the X-Men. They'll probably, I don't know if they're going to explain it, they'll probably get new Avengers at some point in time, but I think the next few decades, well, not decades, but probably the next decade is probably going to be X-Men heavy. And they'll probably mix in new Iron Man and Cap and all that stuff.
All right. So I'm like 10 years older than you, so I'm going to tell you something. So when I was a kid, first you started off, the first thing I was exposed to was the Spider-Man TV show, which led me into Superman and Spider-Man as the comics. And then I discovered the Marvel Universe. And Marvel was, I first found out about the Fantastic Four. That led me to the Avengers, right? And then later on, I found out about the X-Men. And the X-Men was like, whoa. And then I had a few DC guys in there. You had some ones that you really weren't quite sure where they belong. You had Daredevil, and you had a few of the other ones that the Bowery guys who stayed in New York and defended the city and shit. And you weren't really quite sure where they fit in, but you knew when the X-Men came out, the X-Men were the X-Men. You knew all about Logan and his attitude and his he was brought up in a lab and there was shit and so you followed the X-Men and there wasn't any kind of confusing them with the Avengers. It was a whole separate storyline. And now
Well, they're course correcting from all the. I hate to be like all the woke Marvel movies that came after Endgame or after how everything became the MCU. Everything was
Right.
really heavily let's lean everything and have all
It
the
was
females
trending. It
lead
was
the
all
way.
about
Yeah,
what the social trends were at the time.
yeah. So I think they have learned. Apparently, the Doomsday is going to be a direct sequel to Endgame.
See, that I'm interested in. And
Yeah,
if I had heard that, if you had told me that from the beginning, I'd be like, yeah, I'm all down with that. But I haven't even seen like anything for Endgame. I've heard like the only information I have about Endgame is what you told me about, and it's only because I have to say this.
yeah.
I
So
have not even had the interest to look beyond that because all the prior movies up to a certain point, up to like Spider-Man, they suck my balls.
so I think that's why they're doing this. So to kind of like you don't have to watch those other movies. We're going straight from Endgame, and then we're going to carry on from there.
And I had no like Shazam and Captain Marvel. I get that, but why do you have to take it to like the nth degree? And I'm not talking about female superheroes.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
talking about
they went female superheroes, but it wasn't like it was good female superheroes. Like the stories just sucked. Like
well, it's like they
you
made
can
a
have
big thing
powerful.
because they were females instead of being the focus on their superheroes. It's hey, they're girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Like women aren't supposed to be superheroes.
Yeah, it was just
I
like the
never heard
movies.
that.
It was just like they kind of like it was like, listen, we're just gonna make powerful superheroes, but all the stories sucked, and it was pretty
Right.
blatant that these female superheroes were just like, we're gonna hate the guy fucking characters in the movie.
It's
Like
like
let's erase.
we weren't superheroes before this because of men, and now we're superheroes. And we that was never. It's like, look, man, superheroes are not about gender. They're about commitment to protecting humanity, and then
I
how
think.
you do it, whatever your powers are. It
Well, I think.
doesn't matter. We never cared that Wolverine was a fucking asshole because he was a guy. He was Wolverine and he was an asshole, and that's why we loved him.
Well, they just fucking felt like they went. What we were supposed to supposedly get a female Iron Man, which we got Iron Heart,
Which was Pepper,
which
right?
which was no. This is this little black college student that made her own Iron Man suit.
What? In fucking Iron Man 3, Pepper has a suit. She's fucking Iron Man.
You would think they would have carried. Well, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't going to come back and do a TV show, so they did Iron Heart, which is a horrible show on Disney Plus.
I saw it. It was like, it's garbage.
They had Hawkeye show, which is his daughter is now Hawkeye. What other
She Hulk,
She-Hulk was a fucking abomination.
which was the woman that did friggin' Orphan Black.
Yeah,
Her agent was like, score. Orphan Black was awesome. How the fuck does that person put her in She Hulk?
dude,
Are you
that
kidding
show, That
me?
show was horrible. What's that
Black
Daredevil
Orphan.
show?
You saw Black Orphan though. It's like friggin' Orphan Black. It's awesome, right? And then she does this, and it's like, wait a minute.
There was that Daredevil spin-off show with the Native American, the Indian woman there. That was horrible. What is it?
Didn't see that one.
Siren or something like that? Fuck, I forgot what it was. That was fucking bad. I feel like there's a few more in there somewhere, but all of these,
The shows that I watched the Witch. That was a really good one. I watched
Yeah.
Loki. That was really good.
Oh, you like that one? What, Agatha?
Loki?
Agatha.
No, not Agatha. The one with the Red Witch there.
Oh, WandaVision. Yeah, that was
WandaVision.
good. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, WandaVision was cool. Loki was cool. What If? I fucking loved their What If. That was really good. And that was basically where it stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, Agatha all along. That was that was ridiculous.
That was stupid.
That's fucking
I mean, I love the character. I love the actress who plays the character.
Yeah, she's good. Just a show.
But she, like-
shit.
It was a shitty role. She was great in WandaVision.
Yeah.
And she's been great in like the other, like she was great in, oh Christ, uh oh fucking in Step Brothers.
There we go. What do we got?
Jennifer Khan or whatever, but when she plays
No, it was Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn, there you go. She's great, man. She's awesome.
Yeah, the show was garbage though.
Yeah,
Listen, you can have a female-led Marvel show, but fucking make it good. These are all garbage. All of them were just garbage.
I think what happens is, so they say, okay,
Echo.
we're gonna put a female lead in, and then they get lazy because they think that as long as we do this, we're satisfying, this certain sector of the population, and it's like, yeah, it's like that's fine, but the people that pay the bills that watch this stuff religiously, they don't mind female characters; they just want them done well.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, Echo. Did you see Echo? The Daredevil?
I did not see Echo.
Yeah, this shit too. Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel had like 2 good episodes. And then
I didn't see Miss Marvel. I started watching it, but I'll go back and watch all this stuff just because I feel like I have to now because I'm part of this whole thing.
Well, it's just all the
Thanks,
shows.
appreciate that, Shane.
Moon Knight. I mean,
I like Iger Oz. Man, I like that one. I'm a big fan of Oscar Isaacs.
Yeah, the show wasn't that good though.
Well, I didn't realize at the time they're only doing like single season shows, which is stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know if they're going to be in the movie or not, but like everything here, just all these shows, fucking Winter Soldier, that kind of sucked, except for the Patriot. He was kind of cool. I did like that. I did like him, the new Captain America in that show. That's the only.
Well, what was the point of bringing the Winter Soldier back? Was that just for later on? I mean, to be like he works for Wakanda now and he's this and he's that. I mean, what's his purpose?
Well, I guess you'll find out in the movies, in the further movies. Loki 1 and 2. I wasn't the biggest fan of those, but I guess there was all right. And then oh my god, Secret Invasion was fucking just bad. I think they're totally erasing that from the MCU timeline.
What was it?
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion? What is that?
A fucking horrible show. Everything they put out is just fucking bad. All the movies they put out after. Anyways, Doomsday is going to reset all this. It's going to just wipe it all out. We're going to take place right after Endgame, not even talk about all these TV shows and subpar movies.
No.
Hopefully,
we'll talk about other subpar movies.
Hopefully, Doomsday is a good movie. All the chatter from the people that saw the script or whatever said it's pretty fucking good.
What are you drinking?
Iced tea.
Iced tea?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. But anyway, this guy says, Doomsday is taking inspiration from the Time Runs Out storyline in the comics where Doom becomes God, Emperor Doom, and creates Battle World. And they all go there and they fight.
Really?
What's up, AA? I'm late to the party. What's up, AA?
What's up, AA? My theory is Steve went back during didn't even say anything. Steve going back with the British chick, Peggy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
his wife.
No, that's too far back.
I mean, everybody's coming back. Everybody from Endgame is coming back.
Kate Blanchett, someone who realized I was like, he has a Kate, but it's the wrong Kate.
What was the you know what the good line he says in Thor? He goes, "Son of coal."
There's a lot of decent ones in that are pretty funny. Although the one thing that I never understood was, so you got Stellan Skarsgård, right? Who is clearly from, like, when he speaks, he's clearly like Norse of some descent, whether it's whatever. But then you see him going to the library and he's like looking up like Norse mythology. It's like, come on, bro. Are you telling me that you're from that that's your heritage and you have to look it up in a library? Like this guy says he's Thor and he talks about, not the Rainbow Bridge, but the Bifrost and all this, and you have to look it up.
Yeah. Remember in
Although
22 Jump Street?
Yeah.
When he was like, I thought we had Kate Blanchett for the budget. He was like, carte blanche?
Well, if you get her in a movie, I mean, she's big box office, but
she's always been kind of like old but young hot.
Thank you.
Even in Lord of the Rings.
She is like the movie MILF.
Even in Lord of the Rings, I was like, is she old? Because she's kind of hot. But then even now, even when she was Hela, I was like, wait, how old is she? Because she's still hot when I know she's probably in her 50s. Even though she doesn't look like it.
She's like my age. I think she's like the same age. Hang on, I'll check that out here. Kate. I know Kate Winslet is younger.
How old is Kate Blanchett? 56. Oh, she's looking kind of old in these pictures. She's got like 2 kids, I think, too.
69. So she's like 3 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm. She's doing it right. She hasn't juiced up her face with fillers and Botox like all these.
No, well, she's Australian, so they got those good genes back then. They were crossbreeding with sheep back when they first came over. But well, you got to look at the next generation, which is Samara Weaving and what's the other one? The other hot blonde from Once Time in Hollywood. Come on, you know this.
What was it?
The hot Australian chicks from you got Samara Weaving and
oh yeah,
it's on the tip of my freaking tongue.
2 hot Australian chicks.
Margot Robbie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they look like sisters.
They'd be cousins or sisters, right?
Yeah.
And Samara Weaving's uncle was
Hugo.
Agent Smith.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving.
He was Agent Smith. He was Elrond. Did you get the inside joke about Loki and Matt Damon? I just found out that Dogma is Kevin James' movie where Kevin Smith, where Matt Damon plays an angel with, yes, he plays what he plays the angel with the fiery sword and
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck plays not
Gabriel?
Barnaby, but no, Gabriel is Matt Damon, the flaming sword, and Ben Affleck is Barnaby. He's part of the Flight of Angels, who is an observer. But he spurs Matt Damon on because Matt Damon is basically the hand of God, who deals out justice and punishment.
I only saw it once. I barely remember it. So I didn't get.
You only saw it once? Oh shit! I own that movie.
Was there a joke about that in Thor? Did you get the inside joke about Loki and Matt Damon?
Inside joke about Loki and Matt Damon. Maybe when Matt Damon portrays Loki in the
Ragnarok?
Is it the Avengers?
I think it's Ragnarok.
Ragnarok?
I think so.
They're doing they're doing the whole play. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dogma is Kevin Smith, not Kevin James there. AA.
Yeah, he corrected himself there.
Not trying to be a dick, just making sure you got your shit straight.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
All right, let's wrap it up. I got to go do some more drinking and go sleep.
All right, so what are your guys' thoughts on Thor on 4K Blu-ray? And do you like the 4K better or do you like the 3D better? Fortunately, I didn't have the 3D version. Leave your thoughts down below. Now, if you do want to pick up this movie, there will be some links for it down below in this video's description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Cheers, man. We'll see you next